Hey, all, thanks for coming out tonight. Yes. Honestly, it is sort of raining. It's a weeknight. It's COVID. You came out. I am so impressed with you. Give me a round of applause. Give yourselves a round of applause. Wow. So who here, I'm just curious, I'm seeing some familiar faces. Make some noise if you've been out to Pun DMV before. All right. See, it wasn't that bad. They came back. Make some noise if you're new to the Pun DMV family. Okay, now fight. No, just kidding. No, thank you all so much for coming out. We're all pun lovers here, hopefully, or the show will be very insufferable for you. And I'm so glad we're in person. Of course, it is a little weird with the novel coronavirus, though frankly, I feel the novelty's worn off. Really should have consulted me when they named that. I will say as a performer, it's weird to be alone on stage in a spotlight with just a bunch of people wearing masks staring at you. I feel like it's like kink adjacent. Like, I'm not that into it, but someone is. I'm happy for them. Someone's into everything. Like, know who's super into the pandemic and staying home? My dog. Loves it. I do have a dog. He's a pug. Thank you so much. That is the correct response. Thank you. You guys are smart. You can tell. You get it. He's my everything, my little angel. But he's stoked. He loves it. He loves the pandemic. And at first I'm like, oh, he's happy because I'm home all the time, so he gets to be with me. But then I'm like, wait a second. I'm with me all the time. I'm still depressed. Something's not adding up. And then I realized it's because he cannot read. He has no idea what's going on. And like, you guys, I thought I was pro-literacy, but like, I'm kind of in a more like pro-choice camp now. Like, cause my dog, he's really happy. It's just, once you see Jane run, you can't unsee it, okay? That's how they get you on that. He loves everything. The only time I've seen him sad was at the vet. They had to get his weight, which, you know, you just stand on a flat surface. It doesn't hurt or anything. It's freaking out, fussing, running around, like making a whole scene. Then they had to get his temperature, which for a dog requires putting a thermometer in their butt. Totally fine. No reaction. I was like, okay, let's back up. So you're terrified of getting on the scale, but you've made peace with butt stuff? The patriarchy gets you early. Man. Hard to see happen to your own child. Speaking of children, I should let you know I am actually expecting. Thank you. To not have a baby because I still have my IUD in. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I like when the IUD gets more applause than the baby. I'm like, I guess I agree with you. I'm the one up here with the IUD, right? My husband and I have talked about, you know, having a human sibling for our, you know, because our pug would be like a really good role model and stuff. And I want to give him that. And we've been wondering, like, we're thinking about adoption. And my husband's been like, oh, that's so amazing that you're thinking about that. You're a hero. You're so altruistic. And of course, all that's true. But what I don't want to tell him, the real reason is I'm like, babe, our genes aren't that good. Like, I love us, but our genes aren't that good. Like, I'm already ready to have this conversation with my kid where I'm like, hey, sorry about the metabolism, kiddo. You'll be really smart and funny, though. Because you have to be. The world is cruel to our kind. It builds character. Speaking of any other characters in the room, make some noise if you gained at least 15 pounds during the pandemic. Yes, my people. If you didn't clap, it's just hard. Like, I want to be your friend, but we just don't have that much in common. But look, we don't know what's coming next. There might still be time, so don't worry about it. You know, we might be okay. I missed eating out during the pandemic, but one place I did not miss was, which is doing just fine, did not shutter, is Milk Bar. Any fans of Milk Bar in the house? Yeah. So for those who don't know, Milk Bar, very trendy dessert place, right? Lines around the block when it opened, started in the city center, now there's a bunch of them. And it's a dessert place by this thin blonde lady named Christina Tosi, which if you watch MasterChef Junior, which I do because I know how to party, okay? She's one of the judges on there. Side note, do you know 8-year-olds will make you gourmet meals? I'm gonna get my IUD out. Another side note, I love on those shows, they're always like, the stakes couldn't be higher. And I'm like, dude, you could kill the loser. There's so many ways we could raise the stakes here. Anyways, this thin blonde lady, MasterChef Junior, dessert place, lines around the block. The entire premise of this place is desserts inspired by cereal milk. Yeah, she's like, no, it's really decadent to me. The milk left over after cereal. That is some skinny bitch shit. Right there. I'm like, no, it's decadent, Christina Tosi. Butter. Jesus Christ. Try some. She's like, eat my desserts. I don't. Like, what is that? I don't trust it. I mean, some of my best friends are thin. Like, don't freak out. Like, but I was having dinner with a thin friend, because I totally have them, and they're just like you and me. And she was giving me unsolicited dieting advice, which, on behalf of all fat people, we love it. Like, keep it coming. We want to hear your takes. It's like always so helpful. And so she was like, Dana, no, it's a really good snack for weight loss. And I'm like, I know you're gonna tell me. So let's just get this over with. And she was like, just count and eat 10 nuts. It's really filling. Just eat 10 nuts. I'm like, there's so much wrong with what you've said. It's hard for me to know where to begin. But for starters, if your goal is just weight loss, actually nuts are a pretty fatty food. There's a lot of fat in nuts, right? And she was like, but Dana, they're a complex fat. I was like, well, so the hell am I. Are you guys ready for some puns?